All right, Shalom. Shalom Akim. Uh, we're brothers from Seek the Way Camp, preaching out in Fresno right now. I'm the brother Zakaria.
You're the brother Zakaria.
Oh, I'm here with the brother Zakaria. I'm the brother of Warrior. Salaki.
I'm a warrior. No, this is the brother Zakaria, and that's the brother of Warrior.
Khan. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakwadash. Khan. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. They taught us His truth, and that are the leaders and judges in the nation of Israel right now. Shalom, peace, love, and blessings to all the hopefully elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, and to the sincere listeners that are out there. So we're going to go into a lesson. We'll see where the Spirit takes us. Because we just had the Passover, which we know that the Passover is a serious thing. Can you give Judges 5 and 11?
Yeah. This is Judges chapter 5 and verse 11. It says, "They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel."
Khan, and then can you give me Malachi 3 when it goes into the book of remembrance?
Khan, let me finish this. It says, "Then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gates."
Khan. Yeah, and what we're doing right now is we're looking towards the generations of old, man. You got it?
Yeah.
Get it?
This is Malachi chapter 3 verse 16. It says, "Then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh and that thought upon his name."
So this book of remembrance was made for us in these times because we are in a sore captivity right now, in which this devil's getting ready to pretty much try and annihilate Jake, man, and enslave the world. So this is really like a worst case scenario, man. It tells you in the scriptures that the enemy's gonna come in like a flood, man. There's gonna be a nuclear war. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing great wrath upon the earth, and so a book of remembrance was made for them, for those that will fear the Lord in these times and do what? Rehearse the righteous acts. So by us rehearsing the righteous acts, we are seeking to actually, anytime Israel was in trouble back in the day, they what would they do? They would rehearse the righteous acts so that the Lord would look at them and have favor upon them, all right, and deliver them. And that's what we're doing now. We are seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that ancient power, okay, in order for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to see our works and have favor upon us and deliver us out of this trouble that we're in, and the troubles that are to come.
Mm-hmm.
Salakia. So the Pesach, or the Passover, is a very serious assembly where brothers get together and we rehearse that righteous act, which is to keep the service, and what you do at the Passover, of course, it's not perfect, but it's a rehearsal of greater things that are to come. Right now we're just practicing, we're just rehearsing these things so that the Lord will have favor in us because we're seeking Him, and He sees that. When you're sincere, you keep the Passover sincere, the Lord sees that and looks upon you. He looks upon you, He considers your ways, He considers you. And so that's why you have to keep the Passover as a very serious thing, because Yahweh Shai, He was betrayed at the Passover. That's when, He was crucified, because He was the Passover lamb. So the Passover is very serious. Now we're in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, so the Passover pretty much isn't over yet. You have, for 7 days, you have to eat unleavened bread. You know. Go ahead, get what you had.
This is Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of the power Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Yeah, and so it says that this is the book of the law of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai that endureth forever. So if you want to come to life, if you want the Lord to have favor with you, you have to keep that law. You know, you have to attempt to be a righteous man in these times, if you want help from what's to come. You know, and this is part of the law, keeping the Passover. It says it will be an ordinance throughout your generations forever that you would observe the Passover. So that's a commandment, that you would keep the Passover. You would keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You can't just hold the Passover and then the next day start eating cheeseburgers. You know, you do things like that. It shows you're not sincere. The Lord's not going to deal with you, man. You know.
Yep, it says, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Yep, and that's what happens when you walk in truth and in sincerity. That's walking in the light. You're gonna be illuminated by the Spirit. You're gonna understand. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai will make Himself known to you. You know, and these scriptures will have an effect on you. They'll have power over you. You know, you'll feel that power. But if you're not walking in the light, then you know, the Lord's not going to reveal His secrets to you. You're not going to receive the Holy Spirit of truth, man. Okay? And then, you know, that's why it tells you in the scriptures, real quick, let me get something here. Proverbs 1:7 says, the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. You know, because if you're not following after wisdom and instruction, then that means you don't believe. That means you're wicked. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. And so when you fear something, you don't want to piss it off. That's what it is. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai created everything and gave laws and commandments in a certain way to be and to worship Him and to believe, you know, and to look to Him for everything, you know. And so you have to fear going away from the Spirit of the Lord, you know, doing things that would anger the Lord. You should be afraid of doing that, you know. Just like that's why it says you have to receive the truth as a child, because a child, you were afraid of your dad. You know, you were afraid to get your ass kicked. It's the same thing, man. You know, you know, and if you didn't have a dad growing up, or your dad wasn't around, you know, then this truth becomes your father. You know, Yahweh Shai basically becomes your dad. You know, and then you have to, and if you go off, then the Lord will kick your ass, man. Through brothers, through, you know, putting demons on you, through, you know, many different things. If you're sincere, yeah, you know. If you're not sincere, then you're just a demon.
Want to get it?
Go ahead.
This is Exodus 12:14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
Yep. And that's what we're in right now. So I would advise you to be very careful, you know, what you buy, what you eat, you know, because it tells you in the scriptures you going off. If you accidentally eat something, you know what I mean, that's different. You accidentally eat something, it's gonna trip you out, you know what I mean? But you got to take this seriously, though. You can't just be eating whatever you want during these times. Okay, if you're sincere, you're gonna be careful about what you eat, what you buy, you know, because you could end up eating something that's wrong, and it's not a good time. It's not a good time to have that a demon to jump on you like that, man.
Yeah, and what leavened bread is, or foods that contain leaven. What leavened bread is you add yeast or other products that'll make it rise. So leavening will make breads rise, and you would have to, when you make it, you have to sit there and wait for the yeast and other organisms to ferment, to start rising. And the reason why the Lord said to eat unleavened bread is because we didn't have time to sit around and wait for the bread to rise or for the leaven to rise. Okay, the Lord wanted us to get out of there quick, So that's why it said we weren't supposed to eat that. We were fleeing Egypt. We were fleeing destruction by the hand of Pharaoh, And the Lord said, hey, you ain't got time for all that. Just eat the bread unleavened.
Yeah, because what happened, I mean, they thrust Israel out of Egypt, and then afterwards, the Egyptians gathered their armies together and pursued them to go and get them back, or to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Passover was a very serious time, and we're in very serious times now, where evil is coming upon, great evil is getting ready to come upon the earth in the form of the sword, pestilence, natural disasters, all right, wars. There's gonna be all types of wars, man. World War III is going to be an actual world war, man. Not only are you gonna have these nations fighting against each other, but even in all these different countries, you're gonna have all these mixed multitudes of people fighting each other, man. You're gonna have infighting.
Yep. Different classes, different factions, different groups, different gangs, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a global world war. The whole world is going to be in turmoil, man. This is verse 16. And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the seventh day there shall be an holy convocation to you.
Yeah, so that seventh day is gonna be Friday night to Saturday night. Okay, that's the seventh day, and then Saturday night is the end of the seventh day, and so that's when you could that's when you don't gotta worry no more. That's when But until then, until Saturday night, you want to be walking on eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be very careful about what you eat, man. We worry about all different types of leaven, whether it's in drinking water, and we don't we stay away from leaven completely, to the best of our ability.
So it says, and in the first day there shall be an holy convocation, and in the seventh day there shall be an holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may he do of you. That only may be done of you.
So Friday night to Saturday night is gonna be a Sabbath. So don't forget about that. Friday night to Saturday night is a Sabbath, and Saturday night to Sunday night is the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you treat Friday night to Saturday night as a Sabbath, but really it's that holy convocation. It's the end of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But Saturday night to Sunday night is the actual Sabbath. So you got to keep both. You basically keep them both, like a Sabbath, you know.
Good. It says, and ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by ordinance forever.
So that's part of rehearsing the righteous acts. You know, you following the scriptures. You know, because that's the way. Yahweh Shai is the word, and he's basically Yahweh Shai. He said you know the way. You know, and it's through these scriptures, through the understanding of these scriptures, through the execution of these scriptures, man, to the best of your ability to rehearse the righteous acts. You know, so that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai could look upon you and be like, yeah, he humbled himself. He's humbling himself to my will. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the will of Yahweh. If you ain't doing what the Most High wants you to do, if you ain't doing what Yahweh Shai wants you to do, then you're not right. You're bugged out. You know, you're a bug out.
Yep. And the Lord, if you're part of the elect, or if you're a man of the Lord, which is part of the elect, the Lord, He's going to make you do what He wants you to do. If He wants you in this truth, He wants you to be out there on the highways and byways, He's going to make you do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have no choice.
Yep. He's going to chastise you, just like He did to Jonah. Jonah didn't want to, but the Lord was like, hey, I created you to do this. So He had a whale come and swallow him. So if you're a man of the Lord and, you know, your spirit isn't fully clean to this, the Lord will chastise you and set your mind to right, you know. This is verse 18. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at even, which is when the sun goes down, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even.
Yeah, you have a bunch of camps that are celebrating it on the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which that's not the 14th day.
It says, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses, for whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Ye shall eat nothing leavened, in all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread.
And that's the time that we're in right now. You know, so I just wanted to put that. You know, that just came upon me. Something I thought about, a good lesson to put out.
Good.
You know, because it's important to keep that whole week, you know, the way that it's supposed to be kept.
Good.
And Esau fucking he puts leaven in. Like, that's why I would suggest you just eat fresh for the week. You know, no, I wouldn't really deal with processed food or canned or anything like that. You know, because they put all kinds of junk in it.
Yeah, it says not to have even the leaven in your houses. So, like, certain things that are leaven, baking soda, baking powder, of course, bread of all sorts, waffles, you know, flour, tortillas, things that are breads of flour, you know, have leavening agents in it, you know. Vinegar, if it's not distilled, you know, that's got leaven. Oh, beer.
Yeah, beer.
Beer. You definitely don't want to be drinking that stuff right now, man.
Yeah, you want to just drink red wine.
Yeah, just drink red wine, you know.
And you got to eat unleavened bread, which we eat corn tortillas.
Good.
So you could just eat corn tortillas all week.
Yep. And they taste good. They go with anything, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, that, you know, you check your deodorants, your toothpastes, you know, because that's going in, it's going into your body, you know. And a lot of these deodorants, they got baking soda. I know the one I use got baking soda, so I just left it in the car. Or the toothpaste, they got different phosphates or baking soda as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. And if you live with your parents or you got a roommate or something like that, that don't mean you just go and throw all their shit out. Take all your stuff out. You know, the Lord knows your situation. You're gonna put nothing but hell on yourself if you start throwing away somebody else's food. Or telling somebody in the world you can't eat none of this for a week.
Yeah.
They'll bug out on you. So, be wise. Be wise as servant. You gotta have faith that the Lord, Yahweh Shai had made himself like unto a man. Like he knows what we deal with. He knows the shit what we go through. So, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Harakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopefully elect. Shalom.
Shalom.